Are you a raiser?
Dollar Shave Club,
You what?
Dollar Shave Club.
And you're able by now.
Those are the
to
same,
hit
those are the
every
same
spot?
ones I gave you guys.
Yep.
I didn't
I
get.
got her down.
that.
I've been doing it long enough. that-
Yeah.
At the utilities committee, I gave
I'm
you.
getting there.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, you should have.
Know what?
If not, let me know.
Yes.
If you'd like another set, there's another set.
I don't get the discount.
You,
Oh, that's what you gave.
I believe your wife was talking about that, yeah. They're getting you good, right? That haircut costs the same as hers.
And,
Yes.
yeah, they don't have to sweep up after me or any of that stuff.
Just give up, just,
Sure we.
it's easier.
Well, you know what? you didn't-
Yeah, I bet.
Take your
I'm
pick.
not sure whether
Oh,
I'll do that
you
or
didn't get mine.
the old man side.
Or I will tell you, I had a couple of employees go to Mexico.
Thank you, though.
And.
It's $20,000 process here.
For plugs?
Tip, trip and everything was $5,000 down there, and they actually did a really good job and really liked it.
Really?
Mhm.
I can't see myself doing
I
that.
can't either, but I'm just saying, some people do, if you really wanna hold on to it.
And I'm not that big.
I'm not either, I'm just, that for me, I'm not worth.
I go honest with Mark every 2 weeks, it's like, oh, like it or not. That's-
It's just kind of-
Wow.
Have you tried the new
Yeah,
barber?
very rarely do you see him, I've never seen him say
Yeah.
like, he needs a haircut, now that he says that, right?
What's that?
I said, I don't think I could say that I've ever thought,
What color?
he needs a haircut, yeah.
There's a
It's
set.
always
Fred.
high and tight.
Fred, she has the set.
Yeah, thank you.
There's an extra set.
You,
Don't need to make any
You
more.
go to men's club usually?
Don't need to make any more.
For COVID, we just bought a trimmer from me and I take the first pass and my daughter, my wife.
the electric?
Yeah,
Yeah, I started that way and then you couldn't get as close, like it would be like this.
right.
And I'm,
I had an extra set and the vehicle on the set for the last, for the new meeting.
Right.
It's just, it's probably buried at my house.
Probably.
Oh, my
It's
stuff.
up to you.
As soon as the mayor gets back, I have the results.
Ooh, okay.
Okay, so we're in.
He's coming in.
There he is.
So the results, something first,
Is number
that means
7.
we are in this.
Oh, that much I can tell you. So Mayor,
Depends on how expensive it is and how much money there is. So, but that is your highest priority and we'll do everything we can to fund that top priority.
Okay, number 7.
shall we drum roll here?
Number 7 is number 1.
We're going from highest to lowest or lowest to highest?
Most points is the highest.
Yeah, no, I got that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
just
good.
think
So
number 7
ignore,
is
I
number.
realized that they still had the numbers on it from
Oh,
the
wow.
other sheet. So the one that came up the top was the street paving at 40 points. Second were additional police officers with a total of 37 points. Just behind that was one new parks personnel at 36 points. Following that is a part-time PIO that's gonna cover a number of topics, website signage, reader board, and other. Then there's a pretty big drop. Staff right-of-way agent, followed by the Anderson Hill Roundabout construction. That's just right behind that. And finally, the Public Works shop space.
So caveat to Eric's question is, this is, this is being your highest priority and we'll do everything we can.
Mhm.
But that is largely coming from where you're saying this is your least priority. Half of this could be funded from enterprise funds, so it's a different pot of dollars. So we're gonna, the general fund bucket, which is this one, your top 3. We're probably not gonna get to all 3 of those top 3. And there could be some latitude to fund this last one because it's coming out of a different bucket. But, we'll attempt to start here and, move down and hopefully the economy continues to perform really well and we've got enough money to do all of this and something more.
While I ranked my priority, I also realized that Anderson Hill only needed a couple 100,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was conflicted with that, but still, those other,
Good point.
that's also why I went lower on that, cause I thought that's low hanging
Yes.
fruit, and we'd probably do that anyhow.
that's kind of the purpose.
Looks to me like Mark should be a salesman, because his name's on top, very good.
So we have about 10 minutes now for you all just to react to this list. So other reactions to how everything shook out.
I think it was good exercise today. I think that by having 3 buckets and now a working bucket for the finance committee to go to and keeping things on a future parking lot that we'll revisit, not just delete.
Not wait till next retreat. to say,
Yeah,
"Oh,
that
we were gonna
it
talk
was,
about that."
I think that this was a good exercise. I also think with 3 new members, that it was a good time for everybody to work together.
Mhm.
And I think that we were fairly we didn't talk over each other very much. So from my perspective, thank you for letting me have a lead comment. I thought things went very well today.
Yeah, can we just go around the room? Is that okay with everyone? Just to hear from folks? Is that okay, Mayor? Just to hear from folks about. So let's start in the back with Councilmember Warden, just reactions to how this all shook out. Any other reactions from the day?
I was kind of surprised, I put the plate number 2, but, so I thought that was more of, a padding for a position, like, kind of, it'd be nice to have, but we don't necessarily need it right now.
When you talk about police,
Yeah, yeah.
well, if I had the funding and I could recruit somebody, we definitely need it, but we have.
Yeah.
4 people in training right now that we've, we're in some form of training.
Yeah,
And we're at capacity right now and what we can train and onboard.
Yeah.
But we can definitely add an officer a year the next 2 years.
but I kind of wanted the police department to grow the way that our city's growing, and, I want the parks to grow
Yeah,
the way our city's growing. But then I also learned by Chief Brown that they don't base their police size, their force off of population. They base it off coverage.
yeah, and it will,
We
and
have
that activity.
We have added coverage, but that doesn't mean that we still need more officers to get to do the extra things that we would like. And also, thank you for facilitating today.
No.
Yeah, I mean, really, you would put us off to certain things and keep us on track and,
Good.
really made a big difference as I'm sitting here.
Oh, thanks for saying that. I paid him to say that, but thank you. Yeah,
Good work.
yeah,
There's no change coming back.
yeah, very good. Anything else before we move to Councilmember Fenton? Yeah, reactions, yeah.
Yeah, no, I like this exercise too, how, Councilmember Jay was saying, and we can see the, breakdown of it. And also, just going through this too, that we all talked about. And yeah, this is my first time going to a retreat and I thought it was really good. I like opportunities, like work state, studies and stuff like this, where we're all together and we can talk. Otherwise, we can't really do that, or 2 people. But, so no, this was really good, very, I got a lot out of it and I'm looking forward to how we go, forward to implementing all this stuff.
Very nice, thank
And
you.
thank you. too.
Sure, Councilmember Chang.
I think it was a very fruitful exercise. I hope actually that it's just the start of future conversations of topics that we bring to work studies or council meetings. Because I think we obviously have a lot of things that we still want to talk about.
Yeah. Any thought, Councilmember, on how the results shook out? Anything surprising or does it
No,
feel okay? Mhm. Or thank you, Councilmember Morrissey.
Yeah, I think it's fruitful. I think we know kind of where other people's priorities lie, just not our own. So I think that's helpful for me to better understand, as well as to understand those who have been around much longer than I have, to know how and why, and that I'm not completely off base in some of mine. It ranked fairly similarly. I think I'd like to rank the nows too, just to see, where we can put when we have those capacities, what we should be plugging at first in those nows. I'd like to do that. As how they kind of shaped out, it kind of surprised me the staff right away agent went as low as it did. Through our conversations, I mean, I know I ended up ranking it a little lower too. But, and I think it's very telling, the disparities too. That the top 4 there were obviously the top 4 in some capacity for all of us. and the bottom four were the bottom four. So, that's a pretty tight range on, both of those ends.
Thank you for that, Councilmember. We'll end with you, Mayor, but Councilmember Diener.
I was okay with the police officers in the sense that if we had somebody that was prepared for the next officer who's gonna retire or move off to a better paying job or whatever. I'm always about having some redundancy there. Plus, it's hard for police officers to schedule any meaningful time off. And they probably need it more than the average person does. With respect to the right-of-way agent, I'm kind of ranked it low to mid because, it was not much, it wasn't a tremendous savings. So that was kind of how I looked at that. One of the things that I thought, and I mentioned this, I think, in my list of retreats items, but I thought it'd be hard to do is everybody except for the new council members heard a state of the city's fiscal health presentation by Noah last year. And it was really good to how he broke down our bond rating and our fiscal health, and I thought that would be useful. Okay, it's coming again, okay. Yeah, I thought this was great. As to your point about ranking the nows, I thought we had suggested to you, Rob, that you do a priority pre-sort for us, and then we take a look at that. I'd like to suggest the same for the future planning efforts as well. So that you put together what you believe to be a priority and then kind of talk about.
Chris, I don't want to bias. This is your guys' process. It's not my fault. I don't want to bias it. I mean, I wasn't bashful about telling you,
Yeah,
I think this is a priority, at all. I don't think, I think you heard that when I felt, we can afford to do this now because I know where the pots of dollars are. So,
well, I mean, okay, so that begs the question, do we want to do a priority sort for the now and the future?
Or I guess, can I add to that question? Do you feel confident that everything on the now would be done by the end of
let
the year?
me meet with the directors and let them look at it and give me an implementation schedule that I'll come back to you guys.
Perfect.
Yeah, and then we can't ignore future planning, and that needs to be sorted as well.
Yeah.
Thank you again also for your facilitation.
Lots of fun. Councilmember Frennery.
Sophie, I'd like to ask if we could get the final listings of the nows,
Yes.
this
Yeah,
listing as
you-
well as the futures. But, I thought it was a great exercise. Not only in building a little bit of teamwork here, but also in prioritizing what we're doing. I'm a little surprised that even I voted the staff right-of-way agent lower than I really think the value of that position would bring. Not just in a costing position, but in the timeframes that it's taking right now to move forward with our transportation projects. I'm sure we would save a lot of time and be able to finish our project quicker if we had an on-site right-of-way agent. But, we had such a good list here, it was really hard to give it much more priority than that when we need to take care of our streets. Our constituents have told us, we need more police officers, we need better safety. And we need more parks, and we need a cleanup and better parks conditions. So I think it was a great list, the way it came out. Happy with it, and thank you very much for facilitating.
Yeah. So Mayor, I said that, you could kind of round us out, close us out with any of your thoughts or observations.
I think everything on this list is worth funding, and I hope we can. But as John said, there's clear separation in the top four. And so by ranking this, those are really the priorities. Yeah, it'd be nice to have that right-of-way agent. There's value in that. But paving our streets and, providing a safe community is obvious more important than that. And, and I'm glad we would, it's important to me because when I was on the city council, and Fred, you were around too, Mayor Capola and Mayor Mathis brought us a budget that was developed in a vacuum, and council tore it all apart, and well, we don't want to do that. That's not a good idea, and we want these things in it. Well, the budget, I can remember having, it's always my goal, we have the last meeting in November, you guys approved the budget, and the December holiday seasons, we're not worrying about the serious business, maybe things come up. I can recall at least once when I was on the city council, we had a special meeting between Christmas and New Year's, because statutorily, we have to have a budget passed. And, so,
Sometimes.
yeah, so it's so important that we all work together, and I appreciate you coming together here with me today, and Sophie, and all of you to, determine what our priorities are. Thank you.
Great.
Thanks for your work too, Mayor.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I'll just wrap us up with some of the action items I heard. So initially, there was interest in getting the cost of the public works charging station, just to find out about that. There was also a request to get a list of city-owned properties. And then lastly, I think, Mayor, you were gonna bring the nows and the future / plannings to the department heads, and what word did you use, that you were gonna create some sort of
A timeline,
timeline, something, okay,
implementation timeline.
okay. Great, timeline. Very good.
And you'll email that to me.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, oh, this is all gonna be in the meeting notes. So in terms of, council members.
Is there a way that we can, that you can share last year's?
Yeah, we have it.
Yeah, I'd like to
Yeah.
see that, how,
So,
I'm just curious if you know off the top of your head, I thought we were gonna have like 15 items up there, and I was, oh my goodness, but
it's usually about like
usually
this.
about that.
Yeah, it was.
Some of the same items.
Yes, pops and paving or.
Yeah,
Your government at all levels, your job is public health and safety, but, it's. So it doesn't surprise me, a lot of it, but, if we get a copy of that.
Sure, I'll add that to the
All
list
right.
here.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yes, I can even pull it up. Okay, so those were the action items. I guess I'll just wrap by saying it is a real pleasure to facilitate this retreat, and I've said this to the mayor a number of times, and I'm not just being nice. Port Orchard, you all have something really special going on here in terms of the way you treat each other and kind of the tenor that I've seen over the last 5 or 6 years, so it was a pleasure to be part of.
Yeah.
I think he's getting copies of things, but anything else for the good of the order?
it's possible I may miss Tuesday because of a critical area ordinance planning commission hearing. I really want to attend because of fireworks, so I'm gonna see what I can do, but I may not be able to.
Oh, did we get an agenda?
There is an agenda out.
Yeah, today.
Is that?
Yeah.
Very good.
Fire.
I think Brandy's bringing up the copies of
Fireworks,
the,
not fireworks.
She's emailing it.
she's emailing to everyone.
It's emailing in
Okay.
your inbox, the summary from last year.
All right, well then, anything else for the good of the order?
Thank you.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
very
Thank you,
good. My
Sophie.
goal is always to end early, so then people and.
And you were worried about time.
Yeah.
I wanted to end at least 10 minutes early, because then everyone feels real good on a Friday, so.
20 minutes early.
I know, I beat my own 10-minute rule, so thank you all so much, and I'll send everything to the mayor right now.
And nobody attended online.
I was,
That's not surprising. Come on, Fred, give me a break.
they'll YouTube it though. I forget, he's got like,
Yeah, it's work study next
is he
week.
talking to Brandon?